Why do they have nicknames?
You should know what the group is called. BAM.
Bam.
Surfer.
Big ass motherfuckers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the BAMPodcast. I am joined by my boy CJ this time. And CJ, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you so much for being on this episode with me. And thank you, sir. And
It's great.
you made me watch. Oh God, no, I'm not getting demonetized for saying that. You made me watch Child P. No. You made me watch. Okay, y'all, look, let me check this. Let me set it up.
92 was weird.
Thank you, Chris. 1990s were weird.
Early
okay?
1990s.
No, let's draw it back. Let's draw it back more, okay? Drew Barrymore. I actually like her. We both do. It's hard for me to find somebody who genuinely thinks that she's terrible or whatever have you. So, there we go. Drew Barrymore, unfortunately, was one of those girls who dudes were doing, she almost 18. Unfortunately, she was one of them. That was her.
Alyssa
Milano, yes. Soleil Moon Frye. I wouldn't say Molly Ringwald. I wouldn't say her. One other girl that was
Demi Moore for a short time.
Thank you. But Demi Moore was like that. My girl was not like that. She was a grown woman. Then when it was kind of like lusting after her, and I was going to say, homegirl, my girl. God, she was in Risky Business with Tom Cruise.
Rebecca De
Mornay. She was already past that point, man. She was already like one of the older girls by then.
Yeah.
It's just weird. This is the thing we got to like. It's just weird and always nasty to this day because it's still happening in Hollywood to this day, where there are girls where we have seen come into the industry at age 5, age 10, whatever it may be, and when they hit teenager, it ain't the teenagers or the young men that's going, oh snap, I can't wait till she turn 18. There's a grown ass hairy men. One of the worst offenses I've seen of this was the Olsen twins. The stuff I had to hear is disgusting what I had to hear about them.
That I will never understand the Olsen twins. At least Elizabeth Olsen I get, but like Olsen.
Elizabeth ducked all that because of her sisters. Elizabeth didn't have to grow in front of the camera like her sisters like that too.
That too. Also, the genes of that family is strong as
shit. Is strong because they all look the same. Just gonna keep it real. Elizabeth won. I don't like Elizabeth, but let me put it in perspective. She the good looking one.
To say that they did like a Full House, like pseudo documentary, they'll just sit there and be like, "Can we get a green screen Elizabeth Olsen on this side?"
And I will put it to you. I put it to you in this perspective. When I was in my early 20s. I didn't care about the Nickelodeon kids, but of course I looked back on it and I saw iCarly and I saw my girl.
Ooh.
And I saw both of them and I was telling myself, is this what these dudes are? Is this what all these old ass men are getting all excited about? And that's what we got. That's where we got stories now coming out of Nickelodeon because of crap like this. So basically where I'm getting at is that the world has always been fucked up. Hollywood keeps talking about cleaning it up. Let me tell you something. They taking their sweet ass time.
Well, see, here's the thing about Hollywood though. Actually, this is proper for this. If you ever watched The Dark Side of the 90s, there was a thing about the Viper Room. Now, one of the actresses that we're talking about, Drew Barrymore, she was one of many people in that thing with River Phoenix and all them that popped up in the Viper Room and all that stuff, right?
Basically, teenagers doing all all of the drugs.
Yes, teenage slash young adults.
Young, and Drew was one of the younger ones.
She was in
That's the
Studio 54
mm,
at one point.
yeah.
I remember there was like, yo, her family, they partied hard at her on her dime when she was like a child star.
And there, like, I don't know how true the stories are about her being in Studio 54, but they said there are pictures of a young Drew, like 6 years old. This is just a regular bottle of olive oil, but let's just say this is absinthe. This is her in the club at age 7. Okay, that tells you everything.
So Drew Barrymore be in this film, especially this is a movie that actually they debut in Sundance,
Hmm.
critical raves and all that. Um, this movie
All of them
definitely.
niggas need to get they license revoked. Each and every one of them.
This movie is
Roger Ebert is
just
the only one that ducks it because he's like, okay, I kind of like this movie in a weird '90s way, but the fuck is this?
here's the thing. There is a subgenre.
Julianne Moore, not Julianne Moore, the other one I don't like. She was in she was in what was that? The movie with Woody Harrelson. Uh, was it
Oh,
Woody Harrelson?
Julia Dreyfus, Julia.
No, not Julia Dreyfus. Not Julia Dreyfus. Nah, she's a hot Jewish milf. That's a good one. All right, don't do that to my girl Julian.
No, no, it's Julia something or whatever. I know
God,
who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about
Juliet,
though. Juliet
Juliet,
Lewis.
Juliet Lewis. Yeah, they did the same thing to her. She was in Californication with what's her name, and they did the same thing to her. She had like 2 movies where she was, you know, I'm just trying to find myself, and I'm 16. What's sex? They did that to her all the time.
Yeah,
Oh God.
Alyssa Milano in the sequel to this movie. Same
But
way.
Alyssa Milano had to be at least 18 for this, because Drew was 16 years old in this
Hey,
movie.
Alyssa Milano is literally like my forever white lady because she I remember as a kid
Speaking of which,
watching
that's
Who's
another
the
girl of
Boss.
yours. That's another
Who?
girl of yours. Diane Lane was fun into it, but Diane Lane started when she was 17, and she
Yep.
ain't get really big until she was like 19, 18.
Yeah.
So,
Nah,
mm,
nah. The Alyssa Milano was one of those like I watch Who's the Boss, like, oh, I like her. She's pretty, da 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 da. And then boom, she's in Charmed, and I'm like, God damn.
brother, you want to know the thing that get me about that is that all of those kids in some type of section got, if you were a girl, they you had a
There's a
fan
story.
base. There's a fan base. I think Candace I think Candace Cameron ducked a lot of ducked a lot of
Her
penis
crazy ass
pictures getting
brother.
mailed to her.
Crazy ass
I think
brother.
the Christians protected her. I believe the church was like, okay, your parents told us. And a lot of unsolicited you get a lot of unsolicited Polaroids of men's penises being mailed to you. So don't worry. God's it's in God's hand right now. We got you, girl.
Got the kid of Copeland kicking open the door like Wichita Slim.
Let me tell you something. The blood of Jesus is going to be upon her. Give me $5,000. I can make sure. Hey, look, man. Kenneth Copeland did it to himself. You know, when I was a kid, I I ain't gonna fake. I went to bat for Kenneth because I thought Kenneth was an up and up Christian
He
until I
was
turned
hooked up with Gospel Bill, bro. How could he be wrong?
sick part, Chris. He was a part of our look, we both had the same Christian bring up. He was kind of our childhood. I
Yeah,
always thought him and his wife sitting down in front of the fire, with the Bible in their hand, and
America.
fuck me. Kenneth Copeland is actually a halfway decent pastor. I get why people like him. When I hit 20 years old, I was like, this shyster. I knew I was right. Yo, it was so bad. God
Oh
forbid. And I say God forbid because ain't nothing come up on her, and I hope nothing do. I thought Joyce was caught up in
man.
that. Nah, you know how many black women will go to bat for my girl Joyce? Like she ain't do nothing wrong.
Hey, you have to be the dopest white lady in that arena of Christianity to
Oh,
have black women going to bat for you.
she the Pat Summit of charismatic Christians, She is the only one I ain't got no dirt on. Yeah, she probably took an extra 100,000. But come on, man. She on TV every day. What you want? But I look at her like I look at TD Jakes without the sex charges. Come on, man. He fine. He fine. He ain't do nothing wrong.
Well, Joyce Meyer
We
is
ain't got the Joyce. It ain't nothing on Joyce yet. Nothing on
no,
Joyce.
that's
They
it.
keep looking.
Joyce
Keep
is
looking.
Joyce Meyer's Christianity Reba McEntire.
Thank you. Thank you. She's the Dolly Parton slash Reba McEntire. Oh God,
God.
Haggerty, straight up Merle Haggard. Anyway,
Speaking of which, we gotta talk about one Tom Skerritt.
Tom Skerritt. Oh God, we
I
said
have
it
number
in.
one. I've never seen Tom Skerritt. This is probably the first movie I've seen Tom Skerritt actually try to be threatening and angry.
What do you mean? He's naturally like that. Like when we was looking at like Tom
We
Skerritt.
talked about him in Top Gun.
Yeah, he didn't act in Top Gun. We was just saying. Remember, we just said, "Hi guys, I'm gonna Tom Skerritt the fuck out of this." Meaning, I'm just gonna be calm. Not gonna raise my voice too high. But I want results, god damn it. It's like that's Tom Skerritt to me. I don't have to move the needle to be fucking intimidating. In this movie, I saw his ass.
Him thrusting
Him.
clearly because Drew was 1920.
No, Drew was 16 years old. The reason why I say that is because this movie came out in May. Her birthday was in February. So even if I'm being nice, she just turned 17.
I'm surprised this didn't get NC-17.
You see what I'm saying? This
Tom
movie.
Skerritt thrusting a young Drew Barrymore, going down on a young Drew Barrymore.
Here's the thing. My wife said this. With the going down scene, right? Here's my wife. Bitch, why are you wearing garter? Who directed this? The second she saw a garter belt, she was like, oh my God. Oh, I'm thinking of myself in the 90s where you see that, yeah, this is new. This is changing everything. We're doing different stuff. And here's the worst part. A movie like this, you're thinking to yourself, like, well, men, no. Written by a woman. Screenplay by a woman. Directed by a woman.
The director of this movie, she did The Rage Carrie 2.
Yeah, and that gives you all of the evidence of what type of director she is, isn't it?
I mean, she basically her wheelhouse is like young adult erotica kind of stuff. Because you look at Rage Carrie 2, Poison Ivy,
You just said the heavy hitter. She ain't got nothing else.
I mean,
I've seen it list.
Strip to Kill.
Strip to Kill. I remember that movie existing.
No shit.
Oh God.
Nah, bro. Like,
she went into this thinking that she was making poetry.
Yo, Tevin, you need to understand something. I told D this. Tom Skerritt has looked 59 since the 70s. All right, man. I'm sorry.
Tom Skerritt been old.
Father Time dinged him in the early 2000s. Nah, bro, you're done.
You know what Tom Skerritt did? I'm going to act another 20 years, God. No, you're not. His last role was in 2021. He's 90 years old. That's an airman that won't fucking die, nigga. I swear. Like, wow.
You said an airman that won't die?
That's an airman who refuses to give his wings up. I'm dead serious.
He'll give it up when he hit 100.
He give it up at 100. You think Tom Skerritt going to make it to 100 years old?
Yes.
You know what? If I remember, I owe you a Coca-Cola. If he makes it to 100 years old, that's 10 years from now, nigga.
Bro.
10 years.
To this day, I still think Dick Van Dyke is dead. And I'm like, oh, he's still alive. Damn.
Yo, Dick Van Dyke scared me the other day. I really thought he was like. Today Virgil passed and the great Richard Lewis passed.
Yes.
I didn't like Richard Lewis was 76. And I'm thinking to myself, Tom Skerritt is 90.
Yo, Richard Lewis, I know this is all 90s related. Fuck it. Richard Lewis, if you were a child that was born in, young millennial or older millennial, we're older
Yeah,
millennials.
Gen Xers,
Like,
especially Gen Xers, they
we
loved
kind
him.
of like, we saw the stuff with Richard Lewis, Billy Crystal, and Whoopi Goldberg, that whole crew. I always thought Richard Lewis's brand of comedy was actually funny as hell.
It was. I think Richard Lewis, he was a part of that Jewish comedy that was like really, really funny, and it got really, really high. I think when the '90s came in, he just kind of died down a little bit, into the '90s, and it just made his like little appearances here and there. But if you seen him in Curvy Enthusiasm, he was always
Yeah, it's
he's still
hilarious.
still funny, still fucking funny. One of the best, like I love his reaction. And one of my favorite scenes, if somebody gets cancer, we all stop talking to each other. I love it because here's why. I'm not gonna lie. If you get cancer, I don't want to talk to you either. Fucking Larry David making it worse. All right, we all get cancer. We just stop talking to each. Oh man, rest in
Oh
peace,
god,
brother. Rest in peace, man.
rest in peace. But
But
no,
yeah,
like, but a
Tom
59-year.
Skerritt is still alive.
I'm sorry. Okay. I want people to understand something here. There are certain white guys that you're like, I don't want to see you do any sex scenes ever. That's Tom Skerritt. I'm sorry. Like, there is not like,
So
I'd rather watch Tom Selleck than Tom Skerritt.
at least I look. See, when I think of good, thank you for this because I can make a joke out of this. See, Tom Skerritt, you probably thinking, let me guess, he got that weird under ass thing where he has no ass, and I
Hank
bet
Hill, as they say.
there's like no posture to his back. Is that what I'm thinking of? Now, if you say Tom Selleck, okay, I don't believe it's any better, but there's like a fitness to his butt cheeks. You know what I mean?
Also, it's Magnum PI. So
So I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, dog, like, all right. Just to get everybody to understand what we're saying here. Tom Selleck had two scenes in this movie where, all right, when in the beginning of the movie where we're forgetting the best person in this movie, Sarah Gilbert. Sarah Gilbert,
she played Daria pretty well.
she played thank you. She played Daria with a whore ass friend pretty damn well, didn't she? But here's the thing. It's very interesting about this because this movie actually changed her life. No joke. This was one of those movies where she was kind of questioning her sexuality. And in the beginning of the movie, there is a little thing where she says, I told my mom I'm a lesbian. I don't know. Probably. I don't think I am. I just said it just to say it. And I'm thinking to myself, I bet 90 Sarah was actually struggling with that. And there's a cute little story
Yeah.
when Drew Barrymore used to have her TV show. They used to be the Tyra Banks show. They used to be the Roseanne show. You see how that goes, right?
Very
Anyway,
confusing.
but
Confusing
but
times.
anyway, but anyway, but anyway, she told Drew Barrymore that yeah, you were my first kiss with a girl. And Drew was like, "Oh my god, I was just being an actor." And that told me everything I needed to know about this movie. Like, oh my god, Drew, you just said yes to everything in here, did you? Your parents and your agent ain't shit. Like,
No,
yo,
but here's the
if
thing.
you read this thing, if you would read this script, Chris, and you would have to see blah 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 blah. He performs oral sex on a whoa. Y'all gonna show this?
I mean, here's my thing. Um, you
See,
watch it with the tint of today. It's definitely a movie that's unnerving because it's like
hmm
it's like American. Was it American Dream? Whatever with
no,
Kevin Spacey.
that was not American Dream. Good God, now
I
you
was
got
about
me
to say
thrown
American.
off. I'm about to say American Nightmare. That's Cody Rhodes. God damn it. Uh, God, I know what it
American
is.
Beauty. American Beauty.
American Beauty. Now, American Beauty was more of a modern take that I think everybody can swallow. And yeah, I know a lot of people hate Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey.
Yeah.
I am one of the minority. Ain't the time for us to forgive that nigga. I mean, come on, man. It's okay. anyway, anyway, but no, it was actually played up a lot better because in that movie, what you had was when he finally was him and Mina Severo was about to have this scene, she instantly go, "I'm a virgin." He's like, What do you mean? You're the slut? Like, no, no, I just play a big game. I just do this, yada yada yada. I never had sex before. And it was actually telling a story, and they never even had sex. It was just one of those things where he's like, oh my God, I was about to have sex with a teenager. Wow. Oh, my wife might be right. I have him losing my fucking mind. Oh God. And then what's the name shot him in the back of the head. So hey,
No,
hey,
but
no harm, no foul.
but the
Anyway.
thing of it is, but it's like the conversation of the '90s and us like growing up, right?
Hmm.
And especially in the black community, we talk about fast girls and all that stuff, right? And
Yeah, and
I
that's
think
an
it's like
issue.
I think it was like
That would be an issue.
it's a tightrope issue in the sense of like there's a conversation to be had about it, and if you say it in the context of like, oh, these fast girls they existed, and people sit there and go into denial, and it's like, whoa, 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 pause for a second here. That was a thing, and I think it had more to do with the person that the girls were going out with than the
Hmm.
girls themselves.
I would say a combination. I will say this. It's kind of weird, and I was saying this when I was looking at this movie. I was saying it's fucked up because when you really look at it, Drew's character in this was a victim from get go. Wherever she came from had to come from a broken home, had to come from a place where the only thing that means love to me is sex or some type of physical contact. And when we see this with girls in real life who we consider fast, they come from that same upbringing. Whether they be in the wrong, and sometimes, and I say sometimes, oh no, that girl's a spawn of Satan. She did that on her own. We don't know. And then there's sometimes where it's like, so you only just been around adults all your life,
No
and that's
kid.
how you processed everything. So is that, and I get why everybody now, because a lot of those girls that we said were fast, they're grown up now and they have a full 360 scope of what the fuck happened in their life. But
Yeah.
then, and you know this for a fact, there are some of those girls who are fast coming up who never learned a lesson and refused to learn a lesson and said, no, I'm just being a home wrecker all my life because that's all I am. And the worst part about it is, yeah, you grew up toxic because you came from toxicity.
Mhm.
So you just you are
And
your fucking environment in that sense. And there's a conversation there. I get that.
uh,
What the '90s did was saying no. You're either a lesbian, a good girl, or you're a fucking slut. And the
the
girls who were
town whore.
sluts, the town whore, the bicycle, if you will, the trampoline of the neighborhood. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it sucked for those girls because they couldn't get outside of that box. And what the '90s did when it came to movies was they had this idea of, oh, she's a slut, so we can just make her crazy. It's almost on the
Mhm.
same level of, and I'm not with this conversation because I can't talk for it. Like how they always think, like there are people who are albino and they hate seeing themselves in movies because they're always the crazy person or they're always the weird person. We seen Powder, nigga. We know where this is going. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
to
I
buy as
get
well, Black Lightning.
to buy as well. Black Lightning. We know where this is going, huh? You know what I'm saying? We people have this idea that you want. Like, shoot, we talked about this with light skinned people when it comes to them and when it comes to them in black families where it's like, oh, you crazy, and because you light when you got red hair, so that means you, because you know how black people are, mixing white trauma with the devil, and don't be light skinned. You
Ooh.
know where that goes. So so there is I get there's a little thing of it, but this movie is like, nope, nope, nope. She craves dick and she's gonna kill everybody. That's the way they framed her the whole entire movie. And you're thinking to yourself, what man wrote this? A man didn't write this movie. That's the part that gets me.
And I
Because
think,
yeah.
and I think that kind of goes into the whole idea of like we talk about equality and men and women being able to write these kind of things and stuff. There is this instance of where people are like, well, if you're gonna do a erotic thriller, maybe a woman should do it. And it's like, okay, cool, but like sometimes women can fumble the ball on it.
Like, man, they're like, I don't think they got 100% record when it comes to this, man. Are we just sure? Should
I
we
mean, we
get,
talk about men. Don't get it twisted. Some men directors don't know how to film a sex scene for shit.
not even filming a sex scene? It's as far as like, okay, a good example there. A lot of people have been pointing out when you see these movies where it's a couple fighting,
Mhm.
or like a couple going through the divorce, and at the end of the movie, the man does this. This is The Rock. Oh my God, you're a changed man. I'll stay with you, Derek. I'm a changed man. And I'm like, yo, you didn't even do nothing, dude. You're the same. Like a scene ago, you was about to sleep with your secretary. Are you over that? There's a thing to be said when you see movies where you can say, okay, a dude wrote this. But it's always weird when you see an example where it's like this. It's like, a dude wrote, what do you mean a woman wrote this? Well, the director, what do you mean it's a female director? So there's like there's something wrong there. Now, here's the interesting thing. My wife said this. Who was the producer? I'm like, well, I didn't see his name come up or nothing like that, right? But I was like, well, he's just a producer. He probably just told Drew to blah 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 blah. And ain't like this motherfucker had a hand and he wrote the screenplay with the woman who wrote the movie. Wow. Wow. So everybody in this movie is evil. Didn't know that. Didn't
A
see
lot
that
of
one
evil.
coming.
Lots.
And here's the weird part. I looked it up also. Drew Barrymore didn't want to do this part, but the director was
Really?
like, "We got to put her in there because she did the screen test for this joint twice." And they was like, "Yeah,
Wow.
we ain't getting her." And the director was like, "No, I need Drew Barrymore." And he convinced her fucking her agent to get her back in there. And Drew over there not giving halfway of a shit in the audition, thinking like, "Well, I didn't get it. You're hired." There's something creepy about that. There's something very creepy about that to me, man. Like, why were you so hell bent on getting her in this movie, bro? And it
My
goes into the whole thing of everybody wanting to desire Drew Barrymore when she was still a
also
teenager. Ew.
also and granted it's still kind of sort of prevalent to this day to a degree. There was also this fixation, mainly from older guys, that was like, oh my god, two women kissing is hot.
Then okay, that made me smile because here's the thing. That was probably the only genuine part of this whole movie. Because girls, I
Well,
have
until
noticed
wild things happened.
we had to wild things happen. Wild things just say, yeah, lesbians, let's kiss them.
And Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's gonna be like, no, not Kevin Bacon. The other
Brian Dillon. Dylan.
Dylan, yeah,
Yeah,
Dylan,
Dylan.
yeah. All right, we gotta do Wild Things. Actually, see, that's a movie we can do. Wild
Nev
Things,
Campbell ain't the kid from
Wild Things.
Party of Five anymore, baby.
Yeah, the kid for Party of Five now. She's a grown adult. And that movie was overhyped to hell. I have not seen that movie in years, and I think it's actually worth 3BG going and watching Wild Things.
I fell for the MTV hype.
Boy, did I? Did I? Yeah, I did. I ain't gonna fake. What were we like 14, 13 when that movie came out? Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel for it too. I feel for it. Yeah, where's the tits? That's exactly what D said. I'm over there waiting, like I don't like Nev Campbell, but I'm ready.
it's like, hey, Yasmin Bleeth, what's up?
Oh man, Yasmin Bleeth was not in there. Yes, she was. We gotta do that movie.
That
Kevin
was from
Bacon,
what's that word Patrice O'Neill says? Prime milk.
Prime Milk.
Yo, when Patrice said that shit, I was like, yo.
That was a flavor of Hellman's, boy. Oh God. Oh God. If it look, what do you no? Oh, okay. Fun little thing about this movie that I liked. Because I can believe it because Sarah Gilbert is straight up Jewish and she has a straight up Jewish type hair, but you can get away with this in the 90s. You know what they said with her? And I quote, she said, yeah, my biological father is black. And I was like, in the 90s, you can get away with that. Her Jewish hair kind of looks kind of naughty, so you can get away with that. And if y'all spent the time to put like a little bit of browning on her, we could probably believe this. But you know what? 1992, not gonna fight it. Not
Hey,
gonna
gotta
fight
be
it.
real. Gotta be real. Hollywood tried it some years ago where they had fucking That fucking Angelina Jolie playing a fucking mixed black woman.
Oh my God, was she like playing like a Cuban woman or something?
No,
Yeah,
she was mixed black. She was
she was
mixed
mixed
blood.
black. No, no, he was straight up. You're right.
And I'm laughing so hard because they showed the real life fucking light skinned chick, and I'm like, that's not even close. What are we doing here?
I like how they did it with her hair because they made it look more curly than it should be, knowing
Better
damn
than Rachel
well.
Dolezal's.
Yo, it's so funny. My wife loves Angelina Jolie. She will shit on her anytime she gets a chance to. If my wife seen that movie, she's like, I know they did not put that type of relax in her head so it could fry up, so it could look like. Oh, she would have been fucking heated seeing Angelina Jolie brown it up in that movie for no reason. But no, if they got they you can't get away with that now. If Sarah Gilbert said she was half black and they had no type of tone on her to look a little bit Negro, people were like, "There's so many good actresses you could have gotten." Zendaya was sitting right there. That's
Today ain't
another
chilling.
one, Chris. That's another one. Zendaya, Zendaya. As soon as her Disney contract went up, HBO was like, so you trying to show a little bit of that side boob? What's up, girl? What's up? What's up? We just call you for you. All right. It's gonna be smart though. It's gonna be sexy but smart. All right. Don't worry about that. It's just a teenage orgy scene. Don't even worry about that shit. The point is, Zendaya, we know that you can do this role.
Zendaya is going to withhold showing any goods until
I give her up.
she gets older.
She did like what a couple lesbian scenes though. She kissed a couple girls in the show, didn't she, or
Yeah,
something
but
like
it
that?
was no like,
Come
it
on,
wasn't like she
it was
stripped it.
it
It
was
was like,
tasteful. It was tasteful.
I was waiting for her to pull a Lisa Bonet and do a movie like that shit, Angel Heart or whatever.
Angel Heart, but I like look. Here's the funny thing: I still have yet to see any pictures of that movie because I truly believe that Bill Cosby burned all the copies of it just out of spite, so she won't make no residual.
All I
Off
would
that
say
shit.
this: Angel Heart is another movie where they were trying to do that whole Southern horror, well, Southern like was it the new
Southern,
supernatural? It was
Southern.
Southern supernatural movies, and that's
Mhm.
what that movie was. Like Angel Heart. It was a Southern supernatural type esque movie,
And it's dog.
and that's
You
what
just
Poison Ivy reminds me of. It's like they were. It's like this. Here we have a free spirited, Drew Barrymore who, as the title is, she's Poison Ivy, means that she, like you mentioned the whole thing about like she comes from a broken home
hmm
kind of motif. So
hmm
that's why she's poisoned everybody and stuff.
But here's the thing against me because white guys and they still kind of do have this little thing with them when they see a teenage girl who looks rebellious and just just want to hang out. You're like, yeah, she's the slut. I knew from get go in this movie when the beginning of the movie she was swinging and the way she was swinging in her hair. But I'm like, there was a dude in the back of the movie they had already beaten off. Oh God, the '90s had this weird, sick. What's the name of that movie? That video? The video that everybody like crazy, crazy.
Oh yeah,
At least
that.
Alicia Silverstone going on the stripper pole. Like, bitch, ain't you 16?
But that was look. Okay. I can say this. I'm about to hit 40. That D checked me on this. It was like, hey, anytime you look at a chick, you think she's younger than that. I said that Drew Barrymore looked 14 in the movie, and I stayed with that.
Here's the funny thing. I look at Drew and I see a 16-year-old, maybe a 17-year-old. My wife goes, that bitch 13. So you're not all the way wrong, Chris.
I'm gonna say it's like
She
I
a
don't know.
full 13. But here's the best part, and I truly agree with her on this one. It's because Tom Skerritt was already halfway Skeletor at that time, where it didn't matter even if she was 18. Ew.
There is a what that's the weird part. Again, this is a double standard I can definitely understand because like there are certain like older men that ladies out here are like, oh shit, I really like him. Like
Mhm.
Giancarlo is still he's still the fine cat
John
daddy.
Carlo, I feel like John Carlo only gets that from millennial girls because they're getting older and they're just now liking older men. So I think that's the only reason why John Carlo got some type of a, which is weird because I always thought he was gay. But anyway, No, for real. Blame Waiting to Exhale. Blame Waiting to Exhale and blame Fresh. Because when I saw him in Fresh, I'm like,
Sir, that is acting.
in Fresh, I thought he was gay. Even though he was talking about sleeping with homeboy's sister, I still thought like this nigga a gay nigga in real life.
Oh, he's bi, a little bi.
I don't know what it is, but it is kind of funny. Like I know girls our age that is
Huh.
weird. Like Denzel fine. Ew, that's your dad. but I get it. I get this idea of women liking older men. What I always laughed at is this situation. You get somebody who looks like Drew Barrymore and they walk up to freaking uh shit, Tom Skerritt. Tom Skerritt in this movie and go, I like it. You're so mature. Get out of here. Stop that. Ew.
No.
Ill, ill, ill. Like, ill, ill, ill. Stop. Stop. Back, 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 back. Like, no, man. That is like that's when it hits me like a man wrote this.
I mean, you have Cheryl Ladd playing the wife, and the wife
Who was
looks like Drew. Well, Drew Barrymore and her kind of sort of look alike a little bit, I guess. A younger version
I
of
like
her.
how Homegirl through the whole movie was trying to Michelle Pfeiffer the living shit out of her role and couldn't do it.
Even down to the I want to commit suicide.
like and Sarah Gilbert is the only one that's speaking dialogue that sounds like a human in this. And and I mean it. Everything about her character is actually the good parts of this movie, huh? Her trying to understand stuff, her trying to find herself, her seeing herself compared to Ivy,
Mhm.
and it's a real thing where some girls just feel like, wow, so that's what it, like almost this attitude of, wow, all you are is this, like you want to call her a slut, but you can't because
Yeah.
it's like, not because you can't, but it's like, you're not a slut. You're just, why are you acting like this?
I mean, look, this is
The
why I
best
say
scene to me in the movie was when they was in the tattoo shop, which by the way, tattoo artists, stop touching the 17-year-old like that.
see, I was gonna get to that. And I'm thank you. That was again. This movie is full of look dirty. Like it really, like yo, it's just like because again, I didn't see this until like I hit like middle school, right?
Hmm.
Like so, like the context for me, I was just like something feels off about a grown man talking to. It's just like, and then they're believing her when she says, "I'm 22," and he's
Oh
like,
no, no, no. He knew it. Nah, 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 nah. I'm a grown ass man now. That nigga knew exactly he was dealing with high schoolers. He already knew. The second they came in there with Lisa Frank on folders, he already knew what he was doing, yeah.
That
I
fucking
want to
Matthew
hear that.
McConaughey. He's like, that's what I love about these girls. I get older, they keep staying young. That's exactly that mentality.
Do you know that mentality stuck around Hollywood movies way
Yes.
longer than it should?
Iconic
And
line, but in the wrong hands, it's like, fuck.
the sick part about it is there are people that still defend that fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like in real life, like you can always get away with it when you look at these conversations that we're talking about some girl who's underage and yada 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 woo 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 happen. The shit that pisses me off, you always get one dude. Well, it matters what state you're in. Okay, look here, you pedophile. We already know what you up to, bro. We already know you already got a plan, and you hoping Chris Hansen don't come out. All right, we already know that with you,
It's
bro.
like we
Just the
get
way you
chill.
talking. Like that killed me, man. And the only thing you're left with in this movie is seeing Sarah basically watch her friend lust after her dad. By the way, why Tom Skerritt? There was no, like, I laughed thinking to myself, there was no other man in Hollywood that was willing to take this,
Couldn't
was
get
it?
Richard Gere. Couldn't get him.
Richard Gere was never going to say yes to this. If Richard Gere did this movie, it would have actually had some pathos to it. And I'm going to say it because it's already sick that we had to see Tom Skerritt do it. It would have been nicer to look at. It
Here's the
was
thing. Here's
Richard
the weird
Gere's
part.
ass.
So around the same time after this movie came out, there was another movie called The Crush. And
Hmm.
who's the father in that movie? Carrie Elves.
Carrie Elways was not the father. Carrie Elways was the neighbor.
Well, neighbor,
Carrie Elways was
but
just
the
trying to live his
circumstances.
life, and here come Alicia Silverstone making that little Joey look that she always fucking did back in the day, and dude's named Ted was like, all right, you know what I mean?
And that's exactly what they were doing with her, because it's like Drew is out here with their flat ass, like, oh, I took all your mom's clothes and doing all this. She's being a habitual line crosser the whole
The
goddamn movie.
entire movie, being a ball of toxic the entire movie. I will say this. That nose ring she had, I would have folded. I ain't gonna fake that. That was cute on her. That dude, the nose ring joke worked for Drew on that one. I look. I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't perform nothing on top of on my passed out wife with her on the bed with it. But this is the type of movie we're dealing with.
Hey, we all have our vices. We all have our vices.
That is a quote for the rest of my life, right there.
This broad had the audacity to just
Nara
like,
ass. Look, I would have also took Nara ass. I would have took that too.
it was just like, again, grown adult eyes. Because I don't know, even when I saw this movie, I was as a like young, just teenager, cusp of teenager, like I was just like,
This was one of those movies for me, no bullshit, that fell into the same um tub of no, it is like NC-17. And because at
it
least
felt
everybody,
that way.
it should have been. It should have been because everybody I knew about this movie, even when, like, I seen it once as a kid, didn't remember none of it because I think the next day I saw Kids and anyway, so
Kids is such a Gen X movie that, and then older millennials happen to see it, and it's like, oh my god.
no. Here's the thing. That's why I look at Gen Z, be like, man, look, Euphoria's crossing line. Like, yeah, I know it is, but you want to know what really started that shit? Kids. And if any like it always kill me when the Gen Zer sees it. It's like, how could Hollywood have done this? Nigga. Y'all
Wild,
don't know how the
Wild
rules
West.
were back then. If you were as a kid in the 90s and you look 17, they can make you look sexual for whatever reason they wanted to. And that's the
Whether
shit that
it's a
bothers.
shoulder thing showing skin, because they did that a lot, and that's what Drew Barrymore does.
Sure, Alicia Silverstone, it was her legs. They
Yeah, she was
obsessed over
tall.
that girl's legs,
She
huh?
was tall. Yeah, she was tall for, yeah. So yeah,
For her, it was like, you want to see my thigh? And they just give that little upper thigh shot. Carrie Elways with his glasses in that movie. I think you need to go.
like, hey, Carrie, we'll take you to Popeyes. You can get around some
Carrie,
black women.
chill with that, man. She wants some black women. Carrie always like he does this. Oh, Negro girl. I'm a what? I mean black girl. I feel look. He ain't racist. It's just not his preference. Look, look. He ain't racist. He just look. I look, bro. I came in here for no season and not not herbs and spices. I wasn't looking for that. I was I was looking for water, not hot sauce. I didn't.
But I would say this: so, Scarrett is playing a husband who he's part of a cable network.
Did the FBI take over? There was like plot points with that they never established. It just at the end of the movie he lost his
He
job.
lost
I'm
his
like,
job to a younger. It's like all of a sudden Fox News went to Sean. He's like, hey, Sean. We're done. Combs, you're in.
but it's supposed to be fair. Look, they want more men than you. So fuck the Democrats.
Combs, why?
Sean, we were a thing. We were a thing. We were a thing. You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! Oh, that's what I
Yo,
thought it was.
he,
They
he
did. They barely did anything. It went from I'm trying. It went from well, hopefully these people will accept me to this dude banging his hand on the elevator jump, drawing blood, and I'm thinking to myself, I hope that goes somewhere. Not really. Not really.
I mean, apparently his daughter called in a bomb threat where he worked at.
Why? I,
Attention.
like I said, I don't know. Here's the problem I had.
The mother has a mysterious disease. I don't know what it was.
No, it's called Percodan. That's what it was called. And I asked my wife, what was that? She's like, I asked my ex, what was that? And it was like, well, D, that's basically Oxycontin and aspirin. I was like, well, all right.
Wow.
That's all I said. Well, all right. That sounds like an evening to D. I don't blame Shorty. Go ahead, take another one of them.
Take another off.
Hey, go ahead, you make a day out of it, man. Stretch your legs on them jumps. How many you take? 4. Damn. Go ahead, girl.
When you got a 59-year-old scared, Tom Skerritt out here, he ain't getting no bang bang from his wife. So
Here's my thing. It's just like, I understand it. You want to relive your youth and stuff like that. Yada yada yada. Fuck all that. Get a hooker. Get a hooker.
a
Why do you?
prostitute.
Why do there are so many good working sex workers out there? Why do you then go? No, give me the high schooler, nigga. Do you hear yourself talking? Like yo, like that's what I'm saying. Do you hear yourself talking, huh? Good
Also,
lord,
in the
man.
words of Adam Sandler, and then you gotta look at his old balls.
Old balls. Okay, here's the thing that get me. Okay, so they had a party. So Sarah Gilbert was like, "All right, it's my dad's birthday party on the 16th, right?" So she's all, she got it all marked on her calendar. Somebody calls in saying, "Hey, we need to talk to her. Does she want to sign up? Don't she want to sign up for this thing?" And she's like, and Drew picks up the phone. It's like, "When is it?" It's on such and such day, her dad's birthday. Oh, she can do it right there. I was like, really? 30 minutes into the movie, I already know how this is about to end. So skip to the day of the birthday party. Dude shows up. Hey, we supposed to do the camp counselor thing. You ain't supposed to come. Wait a minute, but my dad's birthday party. Here comes Drew. Oh, I'll take care of it. This look, I'm gonna say it straight up because Drew, look, I'm gonna say it right now. This bitch showed up wearing his wife's dress. Wife upstairs going crazy because she can't get well enough to come downstairs to be a part of the party. Drew, every bit of 16, she's used to this. Licking in her hand, serving it to people, drinking it, having a good old time. I knew it was over, Chris, when it was her by herself in that room and she did that little white woman shimmy that all the white women did back in the 90s. I was like, oh God. Next thing you know,
Ivy pulled the happy birthday, Mr. President. It's like, whoa,
you know
hey,
Tom
hey,
Scared. You know Tom Scared. He's a man in the 1930s. Ew. Anyway,
prohibition.
motherfucker was born. That's how old Tom Skerritt is.
You point out to the
He was born years after Prohibition. Not no no, not like a decade, years. I'm talking within 5 years of the end of Prohibition. That's what Tom Skerritt was alive when Lucky Luciano was alive. That's how old Tom Skerritt is.
He could have been in Untouchables.
Oh my God. Whose idea was to say, let's get the 60-year-old to kiss the 60-year-old man? Oh, you could not do this today.
Here's the thing.
Imagine if you will. I don't know who the new Nickelodeon girl is, but everybody's lusting after her. Liam Neeson getting there and have the 60. Do you hear him? Do you hear me saying
First
this
off,
out loud?
first off, I kind of would like to see that because
No,
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson would act the shit out of that because he would kiss her initially. No, no. Now, what's wrong? I have a family. And all of a sudden, he drops into his Irish.
Like in Widows.
Yes. Like in Widows, yes.
Hey,
And look, it'd be him trying to get away from the slutty 16-year-old who's full on Mark Wahlberg and fear at that point.
here's the interesting thing. If Marky Mark was in this movie as like the older brother and him, and that would have been interesting in a way.
They did that plot for the second movie where there's a brother involved. There's an older
Yeah, listen
brother
a lot. Yeah,
involved.
the listen one.
They
Yeah, yeah,
did
yeah.
that
Right,
already,
right. Okay,
and
never mind. Never
they
mind.
did that
Never mind.
already. The second one, they saved the better plot for the straight to DVD, the straight to video one. I know who fucking knew.
But it's like, bro, she pops up at the party. I feel bad for the wife because she's trying to look sexy with the fucking tube.
All right, I'm gonna keep
I'm
it a
like,
buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Tom, you should have rocked her world. She looked good in that white dress,
I
bro.
mean, she did. She
I'm just
did.
gonna be real, man. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, I know you got Drew Barrymore hopping around with her A cup down there, but did you see your wife, bro? Did you see the grown woman?
She's good until the check engine light comes on. All right.
Oh, her check engine light went right on the second she saw Drew Barrymore. Is that my dress?
It's like,
Yo, so she's on the bed, passed out. Tom scared over there, feeling bad. Drew over there, like, look at my legs. Next thing you know, this nigga opened up a leg. I'm like, no, no, no. Let that be a body double. That's not a body double. This dude ate out a teenager on top of his wife's passed out body. I'm thinking to myself, Vince McMahon is like, I gotta try that. There's a Hollywood executive that did this in the back. Been there. That's how sick it was. And I'm thinking to myself, well, at least we don't get another sex scene, nigga. Later on in the movie, they in the middle of the woods having sex on the top of a car in the rain. Panties coming off. I'm like, no.
again, D.
Who
There.
said yes?
Okay, here's the thing. One thing I know about society is that we'll excuse certain things.
Hmm.
Again, it's the likability of a person and what people envision sexually with them, right? So you get, like I said, Tom Skerritt, I don't feel was at the top of any woman's list of I fuck
Hell
Tom
no.
Skerritt.
Hell no. Hell
Doesn't
no.
mean he
Hell
was
no.
doesn't mean he was a horrible looking
I
guy
feel
or
like
anything.
I
It's
feel
just
like Tom Skerritt only appealed to women that used to like westerns. Like
that's Sam Elliott though.
that's Sam Elliott, I know, but still, it feels like
Tom
Tom
Skerritt
Skerritt.
is in that. Yeah, he is in that bubble though. It's like
Like I feel like he's in that bubble of like older women that like the older generals and motherfucking in
I
motherfucking
wish my
Vietnam.
grandma. I wish my grandmother was alive. I asked her, it's like, hey, grandma, did you like Tom Skerritt?
No, but I like that bow of them Dukes of Hazzard. That
It's
sound
like,
like
all right,
that
that's
might have been
fair.
my grandma. That might have been my grandma. I don't know.
Like you get some pockets of grandmothers that like the Duke.
Shit, man. Old black women. I got a feeling old black women really dug the fuck out of like not Perry Mason.
Yeah, Perry Mason.
I don't. You know what? You know what? That is a good question because I can see you
They
can't get
love
it
Ricky
out.
Ricardo.
You can't get it out of baby boomers. You can't get it out of baby boomers. Like if you walked up to your mom, what white man you was like? Ugh, none of them. You're not going to get that out of a
You
black
find
woman.
out that she secretly like I don't know Patrick Duffy.
Thank you.
That's the only
Thank
one
you.
I can
That's a
really
good
think
one.
of.
That's a good
I
one.
forgot the one from One Night to Live that got married and it was a
Homeboy
big
from One
deal.
Life to Live. Yeah. I can think of some of them like who was it? My man off of motherfucking General Hospital that everybody like Luke off of
Yo,
off of
Luke,
Gen-
oh,
yeah.
bro,
Oh
hey,
man,
man.
actually no, I feel that ain't boomers. I feel that's the older grandmothers. I think
The
they like to.
grandmothers and great grandmothers. It's like,
All right, there we go. There we go. I like me some Luke and Laura. Go ahead now. Gross, grandma. Like I can see that it's hard to get it out. If you're
that one
if
black grandma that likes Archie Bunker, and it's like, what?
ugh, like Carol Carol O'Connor. You like Carol O'Connor? Look, you gotta understand. See, back then, older white men, like I can I feel as though I feel as though like if you have a mom that was born in 1950s and 60s, you're not going to get too many white men that she likes. And it's even here's the funny thing about here's the funny thing about Gen X's. They fake about the white men they like. I have seen girls my sister's age duck charges of liking certain white guys.
Luke Perry, I'm looking
Luke,
at you, ladies.
not even Luke Perry. Like I don't know what they like. Like I really, it's really hard for me to tell who they like, but I feel like they like white boys with bandanas. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It is easy to say every black woman, any black woman would like a Brad Pitt or whatever. Millennial
Brad
girls,
Pitt is likable. All
you
right.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, Brad Pitt is likable. You know what I mean? But
Girls
here's the thing:
saw him in fucking Fight Club and they're like, oh shit. I'm like,
millennial black girls showed all their cards to me. If that white boy looked like he ain't washed for 3 days, he's getting a shot.
remember when Ashton Kutcher,
Yo,
remember when
boy,
black girls for a moment like Ashton Kutcher's goofy
Ashton
ass?
Kutcher could have been swimming in black booty for the rest of his life if he wanted to.
They like this goofy ass.
Joey Lawrence. In fact, all the Lawrence brothers, what I'm hearing, could have gotten
I
any
don't know.
black girl they wanted.
The older two definitely get it from black women.
Oh yeah, Joey. Oh yeah, definitely Joey. Matt, look, I didn't know that Matt is with Chili off of TLC. I didn't know that. That blew my mind, bro. I'm like, this bitch left Usher, went to a white man. I'm like,
Well, he's a good. He's a good
no,
white
no,
man.
no. That's what I said. Girl, you left us for. Oh, Matt. You know what? That make a cute couple.
Oh, that's great. This is great.
Black girl showed all they look. Millennial girl showed all they cars with that one. And that motherfucker got a credit line, and he kind of cute.
Why you think my man from fucking Boy Meets World? You know he got black women still liking him to this day because he was with
Actually,
Angela.
fucking Ryder Strong.
Yeah.
I feel that Ryder hates black girls, and he's been quiet about it because he still want girls. He still want to get it, give out autographs for $10. I think he's been quiet about it.
But
I feel like him.
boys for every black girl is like, oh my god, I love you.
Look, good example. Look, I give you another one that probably likes black girls, but they don't like him back. I feel that Will Fetty don't look. I bet he loves black girls. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, okay.
Well,
Fucking Terry McGinnis can't get no love out here. All right, cool.
I see.
I see. It's all good. It's all good. I still love y'all. I still love my sisters. Who's your wife? She white, but you ain't gotta know about
You
all
don't
that.
understand.
You ain't gotta. I'm there. I'm there by circumstance.
So it's like, but it's like going back to that though. It's like with time, it's like again, it's the likability factor. So it's like I think if you put somebody that was like a likable older white guy, it would have worked. But even then, the way the framing of those sex scenes is already icky as is, but you're trying to make it erotica and it ain't hitting.
And that's the one thing. What I saw from the director, I think it was the director of this movie that said it. It was somebody that worked on this movie. They said it was pretty much trying to make a teenage version of Basic Instinct. And I'm like, did you read what you just wrote down?
First off, her
Like,
crossing his
even
legs
for
in front of him, it's like, oh.
and here's the sick part, even for the 90s, and I can understand why this thing bombed so bad in the movie theaters, because it's like, ew. Even for the 90s, there was a level of ill. And I guarantee you, Tom Skerritt was like, I don't know why I said yes to this. Oh yeah, because I want to because I want to rub up on a 17. God damn it. God damn it. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, Chris, this whole movie, I think we can just say that this is the whole movie for me. Because the second
speak of the devil.
what?
This movie came out same time as same year as Basic Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
This was the sweets, and a lot of, and this is another thing to bring up for a lot of people that probably don't know this. The sweet spot of the erotic thriller was around about 86 to about 94. Those erotic thrillers actually sold in movie theaters like that. I believe they still could do it now, but but all of them are so
50
predictable
Shades of
now.
Grey kind of fucked it up.
50 Shades of Grey was not supposed to be yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. They fucked up on the thriller part.
The thing of it is, because it's
like they had a whole setup, and because Dorton was so bad at being he was so bad at doing that job of being like, I'm not even going
even if I know there were women behind this, I think it also dispels the myth, because again, when we talk about like people directing, writing, whatever, I feel
Fatal Attraction for teens.
Yeah,
it wasn't Basic Instinct. Thank you.
But like I feel there's a thing where I think nowadays women directors get protected, and I understand why they get protected and stuff, because at the end of the day it's like they shouldn't have to catch a whole lot of hell, but like
Hmm.
you have to figure if this came out today, it would have got ripped to shreds every which way more than what it did back then.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This
Because
kind of
people have been like, and you would have had, and I think it's more extreme now because it'd be like, see, you got women doing blah blah blah, and I'm like, dude, women fuck up just like men. I think that's the lesson we have to look at
and
this
that's the
here.
big and that's always been a lesson to me when it comes to filmmaking anyway. You can't think if a woman's in charge is not going to have
Going to be smooth.
is going to be a smooth sailing. And that, like it's what's backhanded to me is to think that a woman can't fuck up like a man. That's
Yeah.
backhanded to me. That's telling the
Uh,
woman that she's only going to get by off of her gender, and that's not how you're
and
supposed
I
to do
think it
shit
should
like
be
that.
fair for women to be given multiple chances too, because in the
Yeah,
entertainment industry, if you're a woman or like a person of color, you're fucked. You get one
and to
shot.
and to keep it a strong buck, if it's an erotic thriller, I would like a woman behind the camera.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, for sure,
I'm being
for
dead
sure.
serious about that. And like I believe us men will, if we're going to do it, we're going to direct it like porn. Just real talk. We're just going to direct it like
Women know
porn.
how to do. Somebody said it best. Women know how to direct lesbian scenes in these kind of movies, because obviously a woman is going to know like what works, because she's a
Hmm.
woman. She knows that. And the problem, like you said, with male directors, when they do it, they go straight softcore porn with it,
Like I
and it's
say,
like
it's going to be
that's
soft
not.
core porn. Yeah, you're right.
Wild Things again. Wild Things is a good example of that. It's like you went this way with it. I think with Poison Ivy, it's like it's. I don't want to say it's hitting that line, but it's like I think even the kiss between Sarah and Drew,
That actually made sense. It was, like I
that
said, it was
made
actually one
sense.
of
It
the
didn't
best
feel like
scenes in the
yeah,
movie, actually.
yeah.
Period.
It was a good
Because
scene, and you
it
get it.
felt real. It felt like a girl who was actually trying to discover herself, trying to figure out what she wants. And even if we take out the thought of it being lesbians, because here's the thing: in the 90s until about the 2000s, if you were a lesbian, that meant you were a slut. It didn't mean you were a lesbian. It meant you were a slut or a straight up stone cold dyke. That's how they did that. And to be really honest with you, there ain't much leeway they have done in Hollywood now, because now
Sexualized.
you're the floaty, dark skinned, light skinned black girl who's a whore, who's a lesbian, or you're a lipstick lesbian because I'm macho and I wear a suit and I'll take business from people. And or you're the one I really hate, blue hair. I'm just trying to understand who I am. Like y'all still don't know how to
Now
write lesbians to me.
now
Y'all still don't know how to write lesbians, but
that's one
whatever.
of the
At
things
least
that you.
there's at least there's at least there's flavors now, I guess.
Well, I mean, like I would say this, that She's Got to Have a TV series did a pretty good job of doing that in the
Queer
free
as
in the
folk
free, the
did a
free
good job
spirit.
of that.
Yeah, it's the it was the free spirited nature of the
Not queer as
character.
folk. The L word. My bad. Not queer
Yeah,
as
yeah.
folk. Good God.
But it was
Anyway.
like it was the free spirited sort of thing where it's like she's exploring her sexuality, but it's not done on some stereotype. It's like, no, this is how it is. It's going to be difficult. It's going to
I
be parsing feeling. You're doing it's all those emotional things that movies in this era never touched.
I was asking. I asked our friend Dara. I asked her straight up. I was like, I've been tripping over a lot of these movies, were, just made for lesbian women, and I'm noticing these characters are all flat. Either they're homely big white women who are trying to balance their life, and there's some girl that walks into their life that's like a free spirit, and it's always like either like a black girl, like a Spanish girl, whatever. It's like y'all don't see the isms in this, and she's like, yeah, I do, and I'm tired of it. I'm like, thank you. So
Chasing
you don't
Amy was actually interesting on
chase
that one.
Amy, chase it, Amy. Now let me tell you something. Oh God, like every Kevin Smith movie, it kind of don't age well.
But does
Chasing Amy to me is you can't get away with it now. The way they wrote her was like she's not a lesbian, she's bi. She's obviously bi. And there's a little thing with that when it comes to bisexual people. There's this little erosion with them because remember what I said? How they used to write lesbians as sluts.
Mhm.
They do that to bisexual
Well,
people.
it's the line. It's
Yeah,
the line of you're not a whore because I have ownership of blah 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 da, 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 da,
Yeah,
da,
yeah,
da.
yeah.
And
I
it's
have
like,
ownership of this. Like,
yeah,
yeah, like shut up.
I got
But
the control.
but if you look at like a TV show and the person's bisexual, that person is a whore, just a straight up whore,
Mhm.
and it's so one dimensional of a whore they are. Like, come on, let's party. Yeah, I woke up with two guys because I'm bisexual. Haha. You know what I mean? Like, stop, dude. Like, it ain't that serious.
It really
So
ain't,
they
man.
still have a problem with that. But to give this movie that credit, the little scene where like I said, let's take out the lesbianism of it, and you see these two girls kissing each other. That looked like other girls I knew they used to kiss each other.
Yeah,
And because it wasn't sexual, it was I love you, you're my friend.
yeah.
And because women get away with that, niggas can't do this shit.
Get a good game slap on the butt. That's the closest you're gonna get.
A slap on the butt. All right, my nigga. Don't slap me like that, dude. Like, why you blushing? I ain't blushing, nigga. You a faggot. Nah, nigga, you a
Gay.
faggot. You a faggot. Look, they fight each other. Here's us. One of them actually is gay. He just won't come out.
We don't
We
want
been
to
waiting.
out
Look,
him. We
it's
don't
like
want to
this.
out him,
Look,
but we'll wait.
he's like, we ain't going to out him. We waiting on him. We want him to come to the conclusion. So we be like this. I'm gay. I support you, my nigga. I say, I'm already ready. I'm already ready. Oh God, true story. I do too. I knew one person that was gay, that was like that. I was like, dog, we knew you were gay when you was in the fourth grade. Don't do that. like, like we all seen it, bruh. We
Our relatives are funny about that shit. They was
older
like, yeah,
relatives are funny. Yeah, you're right.
that is the one joke that I would give Tyler Perry for was it Medea's Homecoming, where the guy came, he was like, I'm gay. And Medea was like, well, we knew you were gay since like, eighth grade. What are we talking about here? Like, the fuck? Like, come on.
My favorite one was actually on Drawn Together, where Xander was like, come on, you can practice on us coming out to your parents on us. He was like this. All right, mom, dad, I'm gay. Captain Hero. Well, son, I think I speak for your mother when I say. It was like, duh, we know you gay. And they went through this whole thing. It's actually one of my favorite episodes. It's one of my favorite episodes on Drawn Together. It's me and Eris one day are actually going to sit down and actually probably do that episode for BAM. But it's I love that episode. And at the end of the episode, guess what happened? He came out to his parents, and his parents like, well, son, I think I speak for your mom. And we said, duh. Like, dog, we knew you were gay. We was waiting on you. You need to find yourself. That was
Hey,
the lesson here.
hey, that Curve episode where he gave that kid the soul machine and the mom was flabbergasted. He's like, what are you talking about? You see the kid?
Like, how
Especially
did
he
you
was like, oh my God, I got a soul machine. And he was like, see?
see? See? I remember I heard this one day. He's like, how did you know I was gay, Dad? Look, son, I knew. And the father wasn't upset. It was just more of, oh God, it took you this long.
God.
This would have cleared up so much shit in your life if you just walked through the door and told us at 15 I'm gay. We were like, good, let's go to IHOP. No, you gave yourself that trauma by staying in the closet.
Meanwhile, Tom Skerritt was looking at Sarah Michelle Gellar like she's a damn chore. Like, ugh, gotta come home with this shit. This shit.
He said Michelle Gellar. I give you 5 points for that. That's fine.
Sorry,
He gives
my
you a tip. Sarah Gilbert, who by the
Sarah
way,
Gilbert, my bad.
I keep forget. I like when I went into this, I forgot that she was a lesbian. I'm like, well, duh, D, you knew that. He's like, all right, yeah, I didn't.
forgot.
It was like this. She's like, this is exactly what I did. She's gay. Duh, yeah, she is gay. My wife though, my wife gets the fucking award. She said, I was like, because I said this to everybody. I put up a picture of Sarah Gilbert and a picture of Rachel True beside each other, and I was like, Rachel True's the older one, and everybody said they jokes. Angie brought up a good point. D, she spent over 10 years working with Roseanne. All right, point taken. Point taken. That's residual racism that leaked onto her face.
But it's counterbalanced by the liberalism of John.
Nah. I think John Goodman is one of those dudes who are liberal, but he don't say shit until he's around his own people. Like he won't stand up and say this shit.
So you tell me Ron Perlman does more than John Goodman?
Man, hell yeah. Hell yeah. In fact, I'm still sus on John Goodman when it comes to who did you actually vote for, nigga? Not no no like no. I know he didn't storm the Capitol. I know he didn't vote for Trump. You voted for Jill Stein, did you? What are you talking about? You voted for Jill Stein, didn't you?
No. It's like I love Joseph Biden. Me and him are the same.
No, go Democrats. And it becomes that meme with the goose. Who did you vote for? Who did you vote for?
Oh my God! Okay. It was Bernie Sanders.
Oh god. No, if he voted, no. See, I know he didn't. I know he didn't support. Well, no, I'm not going to that. The point is this, y'all. Poison Ivy made D feel like this.
FBI, open up!
Dog, the second I saw Tom scared and that girl over that freaking piano, I was like, movie, did you actually do it? And so I'm thinking to myself, Chris, well, maybe she's going to get on a kill streak. No, only one kill. It was the mom. And even then, it wasn't even satisfying. You know why it wasn't satisfying? We ain't see the mom crack her skull on the ground when she got there.
Well, you
That's
remember
the,
they had that conversation about the euphoria when you hit the ground. You know what you be thinking
shut the
about.
fuck up, Chris. I'm more mad
I'm
that
just gonna
did
keep
they
it a buck, man. When the credits hit, me.
Oh god. Since
Like
we
that,
getting
like
since we're getting jokes in, since we gonna get jokes in, Sarah Gilbert and fucking Drew Barrymore, they hop in the Stingray. And she figures out you killed my mom, and somehow, some way, they steer to the mother.
you
They
bitches
steer.
humming the song. Her mom fucking jumped off the railway too. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. What are we doing here?
I'm like, you didn't even hide that, Drew. She goes head first into the motherfucking tree.
Yo, did you
Sarah
love the?
Gilbert should have died because that is a 70s Stingray. You would have went straight to that windshield. Don't do that to me. But whatever. She gets her head busted. Drew is able to get up and run away. Also, I totally forgot the urn was in the car. And boo on you, movie. You had a chance for when they got in the accident. Hoof! All of that. You had a chance and you didn't take it. I like the fact that she left the accident, right? Tom Scared gets to the motherfucking hospital, says, all right, baby, it's going to be all right. Ivy, she's behind it all. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
About to fuck up this damn high school pussy I got. What are you doing?
A few minutes later.
Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, yo! She get this Sarah Gilbert, one eye at this point, bleeding out because she still got a gash on her head. How does the movie end? Very, very badly edited. I'm not joking here.
She tried to
If
kamikaze Sarah Gilbert, and the necklace breaks in.
at least look, here's my wife. So we get to see her hit the ground, but we couldn't see the mama hit the ground. I was thinking to myself, the movie's over.
It was a very much
The movie's over. So why we care?
That was very Gwen Stacy death minus the whiplash.
Nah, Gwen Stacy went out in a blaze of snapping glory.
A thud.
No.
Oh, I'm talking about the movie. The comics, yeah. Movie, it was like,
Oh,
I'm like,
no,
oh
yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah, because it's like crank, boom.
Me and D were in the theater when that happened. And D loud as hell. Oh shit.
Joe, when he yanked back at her head, hit that Joe, I was like,
Oh yeah.
Sony,
Afterwards, it's like,
hey,
wrong.
Sony, my heart bleeding. I'm crying right now. Thank you for that. Movie's over, right? Let me get this straight. I don't mind the Andrew Garfield movie, Spider-Man's, but in this ear, out this ear. That's how they went for me. It's like, I
David,
don't
Bo-
mind them, but come the fuck
David
off.
Bowie, Green Goblin. Yeah, yeah,
Eh.
yeah, yeah.
Oh God.
Again,
Dude. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, she hits the ground. Tom's scared. No. What'd you do? Like, your daughter just saved it. Okay, now here's the best part
saved you
about it.
from jail, sir.
Save you from jail because no bullshit. The second I seen both of them ashy 60-year-old butt
FBI, open up!
joking. I'm not joking with that.
There's a lot
Dog.
of, again, there's ick. It's ick. Like here's the crazy part. We've seen these kind of things even in black movies, but the closest we got is what Color Purple and maybe Beloved.
Beloved was a spirit. And Danny Newton was was clearly over 20 years old.
I know, but
Young,
within the
young,
context of
young, yes. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not really calling her this, but I am. She was kind of retarded. So yeah, you see how this goes, right? You see
yeah,
how
it's
Hollywood doesn't have
ick.
no scruples when it comes to this crap. Speaking of which, the only one that kind of did this right was in the weird way, and I never seen nobody really explain it to be more perverted or nothing like that. East Bayou was weird because there was that weird scene where Megan Good was kissing Samuel Jackson, but even Samuel Jackson like, get the fuck, what the hell, girl, what the.
Here's the sick part. I was one of
What
those
the hell?
people that
Etouffee. Look, etouffee. Etouffee fleur de lis. What the hell, girl?
I was one of those people that's where I think a lot of us is like, oh shit, Megan.
Megan Good. No, see, that's a good
That's
example.
another one.
When it comes to black girls, they tried with Megan, and to her credit, she's a Coretta Scott King, and she would not allow herself to be over sexual.
Kidding me?
Boy,
2 weeks later, King magazine.
if you was a black movie, you could put this girl in a halter top or at least a sports bra. You was going to take advantage of it.
There's a reason why everybody tuned into My Cousin Skeeter.
I can really make fun of that name in the fact that you mentioned Megan Good, but this movie.
Thought about killing myself.
I remember
There is no way I would want a black version of this fucking movie. There is.
you. Here's the sick part.
I don't want it.
I don't want it either.
I don't want Tyler
D-
Perry doing it.
I don't want it either. But D has a proposal here. Yes, Tyler Perry. Number two, make sure it's a girl over 20. We're just going to say she's in college. Number three, we can get one of these decent black actors who got clout and still got a bit of a six pack to do it. Because if I'm going to show that last scene, I want to make it a little bit sexy. And Tyler Perry has done one thing. He has been showing more sex scenes. So
Hey, black women love the exotica of it. You can get a Michael
do.
Ealy.
You could not get Michael Ealy to do it, man. Michael Ealy to be with, oh God, Storm Reed. That one, ew, no. You see what I'm saying? You can't get no
The ladies love the fucking yellow Jesus, bro.
yellow
Like,
Jesus, man. I think Michael Ealy. I think it's Tevin. Here's the thing.
he will fuck up an easy layup like that.
He would fuck up layups, but sometimes Tyler will fuck up a layup, but he threw the layup from behind the backboard and it's go doom doom floop. Whoa! That was ugly. Did it count? Did that count? That's 2 points. That's 2 points. Lost the game, but he made the shot. Oh God! Here's the sick part. You can't do Poison Ivy with no one who is actually a high schooler. You can barely do this plot line now. Because
Yeah.
here's the big problem I had with it, and I'm keeping it very real. This movie in present day, it will make you feel dirty, just straight up.
I
It's
think that
child.
is a, I think that is a mission accomplished to the director. Maybe that was her overarching thing was to make it unnerving in
Yeah,
order.
but here's the problem: you made child pornography. That's what we just got finished watching,
Technically,
Griff.
yeah, but it
Technically,
was
yes, it
disguised as an
was.
art house movie, so it
And
dodged it.
that's the sick part about this. In the 90s, you compose this as art. Now, this is what it is. No, you got a 17-year-old
This is
to have an
HBO
old.
Max movie. Get
That's what
out
I'm
of here.
saying. You got a set. You got a 17-year-old on set to have an older man pull her panties down. Do you and have him kiss on her in the rain? This is porn. This is child freaking porn that you just did. Do you realize what you made?
Reason why kids got the freaking label it got.
Kids got the label it got. They deserved it, and kids wanted that label. But note what it was: NC-17. It's a cult
Mhm.
classic, more of a cult classic than this movie. And guess what? When I see the word cult classic in this movie, after getting done with it, all of y'all niggas is nasty. All of y'all. This is a cult classic.
Who are these niggas?
I cried laughing when I
Yeah,
read
I
it.
know what I'm saying? like, we need to stay away from these niggas.
Like, I don't get it.
I feel the second
I
movie is more of a cult classic than this one.
I will say that. I will say that because I hear more about the second one. Now, will we review it? Unfortunately, no. This is going to be something that me and Chris are probably going to watch in our off time. Maybe powwow, maybe think about it. But this movie was a
It's kind of like
son
the
of a
Crow
bitch.
films where you kind of stop once it get to Edward Furlong. You're like, I'm good. I'm good.
Ah, yeah, you know, you at the fourth one. You might as well finish it off. Speaking of which, yeah, if anybody's seen the picture of Bill Sarsgaard as a crow, everybody's giving out mixed opinions about it.
Darby
I'm
Allen. You
mixed.
mean Darby Allen Crow?
He is Darby Allen. Thank you. That's who he is. He reminds me of Darby Allen. Here's the sick part. I'm willing to give it a go because Bill Sarsgaard is actually a good actor.
I love
The
them in
whole
John Wick 4.
Yeah, I loved him John Wick 4. I fucking love his brother. His brother, which I'm with my wife, that nigga's way taller than you think he is.
Sir, you would put some respect on Tarzan. All
Yeah,
right.
look, you know, the Norseman, nigga. That's who he is from now on, man. He's the Norseman. Yo, that nigga fought butt naked by a volcano. That was the most manliest thing I have ever seen in my life. And I'm thinking to myself, look, but here's the best part. Me and my dad, being the black men that we are, this some white people shit. This some white people bullshit.
Look, it's like
But
somebody
here's
said
it.
this. It's
No, reason my dad. This is a white people bullshit. Got him. It's a badass scene though. Yeah, it is.
somebody said, and I swear to you, it's the most hilarious and accurate shit ever. They said, you know how black men aspire to be old temps? White boys aspire to be Vikings.
Boy,
Never
the
mind.
Norsemen. The Norsemen, you couldn't be a black man walking in that movie theater without seeing these white guys like, yeah, this is our history. No, it's not, dude. Yeah, it is. I was a Viking. Dude, your family's from Australia. Shut the fuck up.
Somebody said it best. You find out Chad's dad was a potato farmer.
It's like, man, we was Vikings. No, you're actually Spanish. You're actually from Spanish. Like we tracked down your family. You're from Spain, nigga.
He's like, that is the white version of We Was Kings.
like somebody said the old hotel movies for them were mafia movies because white people wanted to be Italian. Like white people being Italian is such a mixed bag. There's one half that wants to be Italian because it's just the niggas of white people.
It really is.
And the other half don't want nothing to do with Italians.
This is wiggers with a little bit of a mustache attached to it. That's all it is.
It's white guys that white guy. Okay, see, okay. The whole Baltic part of that section. Italians got all the blackness comes out in their soccer, and all the Croatians and the Yugoslavians and all that they got the basketball. So so now you know where all the olive skin people do. Anyway,
Bro,
that's why Greeks not all the time not great, They like playing ball, nigga. Ball is life, niggas.
But I thought was interesting too is how Ivy is seducing the mother in a way.
Yeah, that was weird. But that was just so I can replace you.
That
Yeah,
ain't
all
creepy,
that.
is it?
Huh?
That's creepy as hell.
Yeah, all of this is like some Freudian bullshit. That's really what it is. This is one of those movies where, and I'm not going to point none of our friends out who are critics that will say this because I'm guessing we probably have one or two people. If we had a movie come out like this, I can see one of two of them. But don't you see? There's this artistic stop. Stop. Nah, nah, nah. See the relationship between Ivy and the mother that she never had. Stop it. Stop it, dude. Stop it. This is a
Stop doing it.
this is addition. This is addition. And you coming in here with all this division trying to make the number bigger than it, all this multiplication and division trying to make the number
Yep.
bigger and deeper than it is. No, nigga. Stop doing that. Like I can see people vouching for this thing in a sense of art. Stop it. Ew. Stop it.
And the thing of it is, it's like again, it's the fatal attraction for teens, but it's just like it's it's just the disparity of the age. Again, it's Tom fucking Skerritt. It's like and look, it's gonna be icky regardless, but like you couldn't even find like a young 30-year-old guy. Like
Man, look,
again,
man,
age
look.
gap, sure, yeah, but like
That's
again, but I
why,
think that goes
and I
back to
think that's why,
likability too.
and that's why Crush probably the Crush went over better because it was less sexual. It was way
It
less
was more about
sexual.
like temptation.
And it was more of a girl being actually crazy trying to ruin a man's life than it was her trying to sleep with. God, you see what I'm saying, right?
Dude, when she sat there
Ain't
and
none of y'all walk out of here and notice that.
I mean, when she sat there and crossed her legs on some Sharon Stone shit, I was like, that wasn't even sexy. Like, and again, it's like you don't want to try to sexify somebody like that, but it's like, no.
Meanwhile, Tom Skerritt.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Get this. I'm like,
dick.
yo,
I'm like, damn, dude, really? Like,
really? The
teenage
rest of the
pussy
movie,
just dick hard.
the rest of the movie, he over there like, yeah, get out the house. Just leave Ivy.
It's like,
You know what? We're done. We're done.
yeah.
Chris, the next time we do a movie together, yes, we'll do a crazy bitch movie again. This time, an actual crazy bitch, and not a girl who was forced to do a movie that she didn't want to fucking do in the fucking first place. I miss Fear. I miss Fear. When we did Fear, I liked it because that was Marky Mark,
It was teenage.
and I hate Mark.
angst.
I hate Marky Mark.
Hey, we should do like,
Is there nothing? Look. The only other movie I can do like that that's close to it is
Wild
what's that?
Things. Yeah.
No, Wild Things. Yeah, I think Wild Things is a. You know what? I will try to. Yeah, that sounds like actually a movie I would like to do because there's actually more meat on that bone, man. You know what I mean?
The media rollout and everything. It's like, wow.
Man, MTV swore they were selling sex to kids and they knew it.
Here's the thing.
All right.
Here's the thing. Because
Wild Things.
there was another thing. I think it was called Wild Orchid. I don't know if that was another one of those like erotica things and stuff. Hold up.
Wild Orchid. Wild Orchid. They came out in 1999. Yeah, it was.
1989.
Yeah.
Businesswoman Jacqueline Bisset and Mickey Rourke. Yeah, it was an erotica.
Yeah,
film.
Yeah,
Wild Orchid was also another movie in the 90s and stuff, but that was more geared towards the young adult kind of stuff. But like I remember, but that came out apparently the sequel to that came out the same weekend as Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy didn't do well at the box office at all. Like that was an indie movie that was made for $3 million. It only made like I think is it 1.5 million total. So yeah, and that's one of those movies where it is a cult classic in a weird way because it's the 90s. Like those movies were just in that schlock. Joe Bob Briggs presents Poison Ivy,
and see, like they really did thought it was going to be, but like I said, this movie is forgotten for a fucking reason, man. It was forgotten for a reason.
Yeah.
But I will say this though. I will say this. Sarah Gilbert, you became a lesbian in this. You became a lesbian because of Drew Barrymore kissing you. So for that,
I'm like, I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
so Sarah Gilbert, I'm sorry you had to
We
do this
salute
movie.
you.
I salute you because you were the best actress in this movie, and you found yourself. And Drew, shout out, girl. I know to get any secrets out of you, we got to sign NDAs. So,
You know what's interesting too is like how back then, and it kind of speaks to just like people sensibility, not sensibilities now, but like it was one of those things where I knew the low key aspect of this movie that was being put out there was this movie is so brave. Sarah Gilbert and Drew Barrymore are kissing, and like at the time, like you might have some people that roll their eyes at that shit, but everybody else is like, oh, you know that is, she's da 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 da.
and the sick part about that, and I will give you this too, Chris. As much as I want to disagree with you, right? Because there were people that saw this and that opened the door for them to be more comfortable and then to have a conversation with shit. You be surprised of the conversations that people do have with shitty movies, movies that came off obtuse, movies that came off today we will find offensive. Like that a lot of people got look I will say this, the 90s don't get enough credit for this, but at the same time they get over credit for this, which was Tu Wan Fu. Tu Wan Fu kind of comforted a lot of people when it came to drag queens in a weird way. In a weird way, we got to see three different drag queens, which got away. Swayze didn't do shit in this movie. He looked too manly. But
Swayze was saying,
yeah, yes,
John
Wesley Snipes
Leguizamo.
did too. And look, yes, Wesley Snipes did too. But Wesley Snipes stole the fucking movie. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of people say, well, he didn't do this. What did it do for us? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was alive at the time. There were people who hated people who were transsexual that watched this movie and fucking adored it. It's because of that movie that softened them to where they're at now, where people are coming out of the
Pose.
closet or where people are out there like, look, man, he's a drag queen. Shut up, stop, calm down. It actually
RuPaul
did something.
being at the forefront.
RuPaul was a big part of that too. But RuPaul, and I'm not taking nothing away from him, but when Tu Wong Fu came out, it was a lot of people that were against it, but there was a bunch of people that I love this movie. You'd be
Oh,
surprised where people will get that comfort from, man. You'll be surprised at it, man. Now, that does bring up red flags with some movies, but
but that's what I'm
look.
saying. It's like that was the thing because it's weird that like as hot button as this movie was with the kind of creepy underage girl with the older guy thing, it was like somehow we managed to get some good out of it. Like, but there was some progressive things here with it's like, wow, we really did like take some positivity out of this horribly negative thing here. And it's like, I don't think you can do that now because if they put this out now, number one, lesbianism is still fucking commonplace at this point. So it's like, cool, I guess.
I think
Great.
if you like, here's the thing: you bring this out now, it's just going to be euphoria. That's all it's going to. And euphoria right
Who's
now is
less
getting.
creepy euphoria?
No, it'll be just on the same level. Euphoria. Euphoria is creepy for. If we,
Different reason.
Euphoria brought up one thing that I think a lot of people kind of let go with that show was these are still teenagers having sex on camera. You do realize that, right? Well, they're all not. No, 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 no. This is supposed to be a weird, give it episodic version of kids. So chill. This is still young people having sex, and drugs are involved, which is actually just is it probably worse. See what I'm saying? So
It's like that UK
here's the
series with the
thing. We
teenagers.
say that, look, and I say all this and how bad it is. I know 10, 15 years from now, somebody's going to come out and say, I'm glad Euphoria came out because it spoke to me in some type of way and all the rest of that. Movies have that weird effect.
Mhm.
Did this movie have that? It had this effect on me, right? So anyway, Chris, next time you will be all this. I think I'm gonna get us. I think I'm gonna have us do. I think I actually am gonna have us do wild things. Whereas you, me and Eris next time, bro.
Oh
So
yes,
yeah.
yes. The MTV rollout, everything.
So anyway, everybody. See y'all next time. And Chris, it's been good talking with you, bro.
Good talking to you too, sir.